Hey, welcome back. It's the Jack and Jarrett podcast, episode 17. Kind of crazy. It's already been a third of the year so far. Pretty awesome. Year's flying by. A lot better year, I feel, than last year so far. Today's episode, we got a little bit of a different style, something I think we could incorporate into an episode moving forward. Today, we're going to kind of do it for an entire episode. I feel like it's a little bit of a fun style and a little bit of a way to meet Jack and I a little bit more, kind of get like a little bit more of a idea of how we would make some decisions. So I like to call this Would You Rather, because it's would you rather and you choose. So first one, this is one that I actually was in a discussion with some people a few weeks ago, and I was actually kind of surprised at how even the responses were. Would you rather have $1 million liquid or $5 million tied up in equity?
Am I getting a yield from the equity holding?
So I'm sorry, it's tied in a startup, so you don't know when you're going to be able to get it. You don't know what the return is. You don't know how much it's going to grow. So it's kind of risky.
Yeah, very risky if it's a startup. So, all right. So the question is 1 million liquid, like in a bank account, and all I have is that 5 million tied up in the startup.
Right.
I'm taking the liquid. I'm taking the 1 million liquid.
What are some of your reasons?
I've come from a startup. I know how super fucking hard
yeah.
I know how super hard it is. And so I think it's much harder than 5 to 1. I know it's super hard. Second, if I have $1 million with the right people around me and given enough time, I'm confident that I will come up with another startup that I can put 100K in and raise another 900K and be in a way better position there than this other startup. And yeah, additionally, like for me, I think the magic number is like if I get to like 5 million in like assets and value, I'll be able to live off that from the cash flow I'll be able to generate. So 1 million puts me 20% there. Pretty confident with this crypto market, I could double it and then start getting some yield.
Yeah, I would go with liquid as well. I just like having money in front of me. I'm confident with it that I'll make it more. So 5 million sounds great, but like $1 million is plenty, and I'd want it in front of me. So I would choose the liquid also. Here's a lot of these questions seem similar, but they're definitely like when you think of them, there's definitely differences. So next one is you have a job that I would say you rate like a 9. You really enjoy this job, but it's a 2-hour commute. Or you have a job that's a 5, but it's a 3-minute commute.
2-hour commute, straight up. Like you work, what is it, like 70% of the week and
Right.
the majority of your life, like you got to enjoy what you do. With that being said, there's no fucking way I would ever be signing up for a job and somewhere like 2 hours away. So yeah.
Yeah, same here. I would never be in that situation. I would never work 2 hours away for a long time. If there's an opportunity that was 2 hours away, like right now, and it seemed like a great opportunity, I wouldn't discount it, but I would probably think I was gonna move sooner or later, but that's just not sustainable forever. Would you rather work for a company that's 10 people or 1,000 people?
In law school, we call this, we say you can't buck the hypo. So I can't be throwing too much questions at you.
Yeah, it's kind of a lot of these questions. There's obviously a lot that would be involved in it, but it's like everything else is kind of equal. Like,
I like working for 10-person companies. It means you get to do more than what your exact position requires, because everyone needs to be all hands on deck. So I would go with the 10-person company, but there's definitely upside to working for that big 1,000-person company.
yeah, I I would agree. I like working with small people. I feel like not small people, that'd be weird. But I like working with a small group because I feel like you get to meet people and there's more flexibility that time. I feel like larger corporations, it just becomes like a machine. And I just don't like being part of a machine where there's no thought process. It's just like you do this, you do that, you do this, you do that. That's not always how it is, but just generally the feeling I get from a large company.
So
Would you say again?
I got a question for you. So would you rather have been that guy who bought 2 pizzas for 200,000 Bitcoin or whatever it was, or the guy that lost the passcode to his crypto wallet and so lost access to his 200,000 or whatever Bitcoin?
I'd rather be the pizza guy. What's it called? He's like actually fairly, I don't think he's like famous, but he's like known, and he doesn't regret it at all. He talks about it. He's a developer. I think he still made a considerable amount of money afterward because he was just involved. But yeah, he seems like a cool guy. I think he's got like a Eastern European type name, like Ayek or something. But yeah, I'd probably rather be him. Both of them, I'd need a therapist for sure to try and handle. I mean, I have my own situations in crypto where I lost like thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And it's
You want to talk about it?
I mean, there's multiple situations where like just didn't sell when I thought I should have sold.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you just like the whole time it's going down every day, you're like, oh, should I sell? And then it goes down more. And every time it happens, you're like, oh, I could have. Or also like missed opportunities of just when friends said, hey, you should buy this. My friend bought Chainlink at like 30 cents and was like screaming about it to me, telling me I had to get it, and I didn't. And I feel like an idiot, but like, what can you do?
Yeah, no, I know you mean. If I would have even remotely timed the market right in the 2017 bull and sold instead of just like holding on to everything, and then like put this other money that I've been putting recently into this market, then yeah, I'd have a lot of zeros next to my bank account. But
you're better off now because you've gone through it before. I feel like you wouldn't be in this situation if you didn't miss out before.
I don't know, man. I think we're in a once in a millennia opportunity.
Yeah, that's how I justify it, I guess. Here, next question though. Would you rather work 80 hours this week and get off next week, or regular 40 hours and 40 hours?
80, rather work 80, 100%. My friend was telling me about this guy who gets off every other month because he puts in like 100-hour weeks or something like that every week for a month. And so he literally does like 2 months of work in like a month. And I don't really remember. But I don't think you can do this in a lot of jobs, but whatever he's doing, he clearly can. But listen, get the coffee machine rolling, tell my friends, hey, I'll talk to you in a few weeks, especially in the winter, like when nothing's going on. Like, yeah, dude, I'll grind. Like I studied for the LSAT, I studied for the bar exam, I studied for law school finals. Like I'm used to putting in like 4 or 6 like weeks, like 2 months, something like that, like just grinding. When I was at the startup, I was putting in every day, getting in the office around 9, not leaving till 10, working weekends, practicing Spanish whenever I could. So that doesn't scare me, but like being able to wake up and know that like your desk is clear, you don't have anything to do, like I fucking love that. So yeah, I would definitely take one on, one off. What about you?
I'm probably the same. My only like reservation would be I'd work 80 hours and then like I would the next week I'd probably work 80 again. Like I have trouble taking off all the time or taking off at all. But generally I like to like get things done just to get them done. So I'd probably stick with 80 hours. In a similar token, like I kind of like the 4-day work week model. And I feel like some companies are moving towards that with work from home, and like it definitely saves money. And I feel like a lot of people are just as productive, if not more, when they're limited to 4 days instead of 5.
Sure, some people maybe, especially if you have that 2-hour commute. I kind of laughed when you said companies are moving to that 4-day work week, because I thought what you meant by that was 4 days in the office, 1 day out of the office. And we all know that out of the office, people aren't working as hard. So that's what I originally thought you meant. As someone who's hired other people and like had like a little company with people underneath me,
Yeah.
like I've seen the studies, I read the articles where people are more productive in 4 days than they are in 5, and I think there's something to it. But it's
Yeah.
it's a hell of a risk to take.
I agree, and I think we're about to see those risks and reservations in the coming months. So like Google was one of the first companies who promoted work from home at the beginning of COVID. And when Google did it, everyone was like, oh, work from home is here to stay. Like, look, big companies are doing it. And just last month, so then actually like 6 months ago, they're like, yeah, work from home is here to stay. You guys can do it indefinitely. And then a month ago, Google said, you guys are coming back. And everyone is like, wait, what? No way. Google's making everyone come back. And then the articles are all saying, if Google's making them come back, companies are making you come back. It's probably not going to be here to stay. But
Yeah,
work from home was like 10% of people before. It's probably going to be like 20 or 25 now. So it still will go up, but not as much as they thought.
maybe. Would you rather be paid 20% less and have that extra day off?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I've never enjoyed work. I've only worked like a full-time job as a teacher, which isn't like a real full-time job even, or it's not like the whole year. And I wouldn't be able to do that for forever. I get extremely just tired or bored of it. And I don't feel like people work 8 hours straight. And I myself don't. I feel like I can usually get whatever needs to be done in a few hours, and then I can like monitor. I just don't see myself being that much more productive with an extra day. And then if I had that day off and I got paid less, I can see myself making more money as a difference if I just like think of something. But also,
Yeah.
I would argue that the company should probably pay you more if you work from home, not from productivity, but they're saving money on office space.
Maybe. Like I understand the argument that like their overhead goes down by not having that office. With that being said, if they still need to have that office for you 4 days a week, it doesn't necessarily help the situation. And then additionally, it's not necessarily about what they're saving, it's about the market. Like
Right.
if the market says that you're only worth this much, or whatever else, then you need to accumulate new skills or abilities or impress the right people to get that paycheck. So I hear what you're saying. We'll say.
Yeah, no, that might be a good topic for a future conversation. I like that. Would you rather speak in front of a stadium or have a article that gets like national recognition or it gets read nationally?
I write the article, or the article's about me?
You write the article.
Ooh, I think I'd rather write the article. I do a lot of writing now. I think it has a lot more staying power. People watch videos, but I think it's a lot easier to go from writing to getting a speaking engagement because of the quality of your writing than the opposite. So as someone who's been spending at least a few hours every day doing some writing, I'd rather be known for my writing and then use that as leverage.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
I mean, I'd probably enjoy speaking in front of a crowd more, but I'd definitely be more scared to do that. Writing is easy to just write and whoever sees it. But speaking, like when there's thousands of people in front of you, it's hard to not be nervous. Yeah, hard to not be nervous. All right, this is you as a manager. Would you care, this is gonna be like a little bit twofold. Would you care or like ask to know your employees' credit scores and eating habits?
No, no, none of my business, assuming their eating habits doesn't interfere with anything. And like the first thing that comes to mind eating habits wise is like them putting like fish in the microwave and like it's a small office and having to deal with that smell, or like them just like missing their face as they eat and just like making a mess like everywhere and getting it on other people's stuff. But listen, like I was really lucky that my parents taught me financial literacy really early on, and a lot of people didn't have that. And so it's super easy to see how in today's world people got themselves into bad credit without actually recognizing like what they were doing and the repercussions of it. So I'm not gonna hold hold it against someone for them making a mistake like that several years ago. Bigger mistakes, maybe, but credit history and eating habits, like, hey, if you're vegan, if you're paleo, if you're whatever it is, keto, like whatever dietary religious restriction, go for it. I don't care as long as you're not putting fish in the microwave.
Yeah, have you had a bad experience with fish in the microwave before?
Yes and no. Like I definitely have noticed when we did share a microwave, if someone did it. But nothing like traumatizing. But
Right.
I just think it's almost cliche to like you just
Yeah.
don't do that.
No, I feel that. All right, I'm getting towards the end of my questions. So one of these might be the last ones, just giving you a heads up. Would you prefer a work environment that kind of meshed the family life also, or would you rather have it very separate? So like, would you rather work at a place where everyone at work kind of like spends weekends together too, goes out to events together for fun? Would you rather like it's work and then when you go home, you have your own friends, your own separate things going on?
Separate. They're just saying don't do work with friends and family. And for a while that didn't make sense to me. And then I've had not great experiences working with particularly friends. And it will, when things don't go well, or if the people aren't of the utmost character, it will sour the relationship, especially when money's involved. So I'd rather keep things separate. I know you can make it work, but that also requires everyone to be high character people. What about you?
Yeah, good insight. It's a tough one. I'd probably prefer to have everyone at work like people that I enjoy and want to have fun with also. But with that being said, in all of my previous work experiences, a lot of the people at work are friends and like do stuff out of work and invite me, and I say no right away and go like, why would I do that? Like this is work. I'm not trying to hang out with you. I don't know why that is. It's been something I've always done.
Yeah, and like, listen, I like socializing with the people that I work with, and I like having a good time and developing relationships with them. But no, I'm with you. Like when we had the startup and our employees like went out for a night on the town, they invited me. I was like, no, and they're like, why not? And I was like, because you're never gonna see me like drink that much. Like I'll
Yeah,
have a beer with
exactly.
you guys, but like I like I am your bosses, and like I try not to act like that, but like I am firmly aware that that dynamic is going to add complexity the more we socialize.
Exactly. And in like some industries, in like Wall Street, it's like not even just expected, it's mandatory that you have to like get shit faced in front of people and kind of like hold your own.
Well,
I
I wouldn't say it's mandatory. I know friends on Wall Street that do finance in New
it,
York,
no,
and
there's stories I've heard that are more or less like, I won't go into specifics, but like basically people had to go out drinking and got shit faced, and the boss kind of said like, you can't stop drinking and you have to show up tomorrow. And it was like a work night, and they basically make you drink like 30 drinks, something like insane, and you have to show up to work. All you have to do is show up the next day, but you can't miss. And it's kind of like an honor badge or something. It's like frat rushing and stuff. And I guess it gets like camaraderie. I heard about it, so it obviously like was a memorable story for these people. But no, it literally was like mandatory, which like I don't understand that culture at all.
Yeah, like I the law firm has some similar things. We were never told that we have to drink to excess, but we're lawyers, so they may be trying to avoid that type of liability.
Yeah, you guys are probably smart like that. That's a good point. I think that about wraps it up with my questions. I kind of enjoyed that. I feel like I learned a little bit more about you even. But that's something too. I feel like every once in a while, add a question like that, spices things up, keeps it interesting. I kind of like, do you have any like closing thoughts that you'd want to share, add, whatever?
Yeah, I have a question. Would you rather live right now in today's world or in any other period of the world?
Definitely today. Like, I mean, today's times are awesome. I definitely love history. I wouldn't mind being alive like in ancient Greece or ancient Rome. That'd be awesome. But today, like the technology that we have today is insane. So like I'm actually upfitting a trailer right now, and it's right near Lemon Hill Mansion, which is like Lemon Hill Park. And I was just thinking like this mansion 200 years ago was a mansion that like royalty lived in, and my little trailer has more technology and is like more advanced living than that. And it's just like, it's wild to think about that. Just the capabilities we have now. We can get clean water so easily. You can get electricity easily. You can like create things easily. Food on demand. It's awesome.
Yeah, flushing toilets, electricity, running water. These are the internet, the smartphone. These are nice technological feats. As cool as it would have been in ancient Rome, or as cool as it would have been any other era. At the end of the day, you go back more than 60, 70, well, maybe a little bit longer than that, 100 years, you're shitting in a pot or in an outpost. And
exactly.
So I'm with you. I'd rather be living right now.
And we have the crypto market right now, which like you said is once in a millennia opportunity. So can't really miss that.
Yeah, wait, so before you go then, give your Bitcoin and Ethereum prediction, all-time high that it will hit
this year.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Bitcoin's gonna hit 100K. I really think Bitcoin is gonna hit like 200, 250K. I really think there's a good chance of that. And then I'd say Ethereum 5 to 10. I want to say 10, but I feel like that's a little bit extreme. I do think we'll hit 5 for sure. It's tough. So I think the more interesting question is, a year ago, I would have 100% said Bitcoin will go to whatever it's going to go, but it'll drop back down to 10. Now I don't know what it's going to drop down to. Like, what's the floor? I feel like the floor should still be like 10 to 20, but it seems like there's too much demand like from institutions now where I can't see it going below 35, 40 is my like low right now. What about you?
Yeah, so my only caveat being that there's too many whales in the Bitcoin market. So even though institutions are buying this up, it's just still concentrated in like, I think it's like 1,000 people's hands. It's like, I don't know, 40 or 60% of all Bitcoins and like that many people. So even though these institutions are buying it up, if the whales wanted to bottom out, they could just sell all their, not even all theirs, just sell a quarter of it, it'll bottom out. Bitcoin, I really think Bitcoin's going to end up somewhere around 225. I want to say like 217 if I had to put like an exact number on it. But I wouldn't be surprised if it hit 300. I don't know if I'll be. I have like a little like strategy for taking profits. So I don't know if it kept going up if I'd be able to weather the storm, having lived through 2017. But.
Yeah.
Yeah, so put me down for 217, and then Ethereum put me down for 12.5.
Ooh, I like that. 12.5. And then what's your altcoin pick?
For altcoin that's going to the moon.
Yeah. Safe Moon?
I would no. I don't really know, because I don't think any of these altcoins really have a good use case yet, besides maybe VeChain. And I don't necessarily think everything that VeChain says is they're doing needs the blockchain technology. But I think the move is the exchanges. I think the exchanges aren't going anywhere. So Binance, Crypto.com, even Celsius token, all of those. It's just, I don't know if like they're just going to crash at some point, but like clearly the exchanges are here to stay. There's too much interest for this, especially internationally. So if I were to bet on a sector, it would be all the exchange coins.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. And then I guess my last tidbit would be if you have any access to like foreign people that you could trust to make investments, Launchpool has been super profitable, but you can't be a United States citizen for it. But it's something where like you can put $50 on something and the next day it'll be worth like 1,000. It's through Binance. It's Launchpools. There's like different ones every week, but that's been pretty interesting to watch. There's so much stuff that's just wild and new every week. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, but all you crypto enthusiasts out there, take profits. Don't let this bull market go through and do what happened to me, where my portfolio lost 90% of its value in 4 months, just watching it capsize. So take profits, and then live to see another day. And if it goes to the moon, have a little bit in there, but like set yourself up.
Definitely agree with that. Take profits.
Not financial advice. Not financial advice.
Very true there too. Well, thank you. It was an awesome episode. Awesome time with you, Jack. Excited to see you next week. Like, subscribe, comment, everyone. We want to see you guys back on as a guest. Alan is actually upstairs right now. He's listening in right now. I don't want to have him as a guest again before I have someone else. So please comment, let us know you guys want to be on, and we'll have you on. Thank you. Have a great rest of the week. Stay safe. Enjoy the weather. Peace.